For dads, bonding with a baby can be a challenge. I think we see the movies and we see dads become overwhelmed with emotion when they hold their newborn baby for the first time, but that isn't always the case. It might be for some, but for many, it takes time to secure that bond and connection with your baby. So I just want you to know that if you don't feel that immediate bond and connection with your new baby, that is totally normal. I remember with our first, it was a huge realignment of expectations for me because I assumed that immediate bond and connection would be there. But of course, it took time. I needed to engage with him, get to know him, play with him. And as time went on and his personality grew, that bond and connection was secured. It does take time. If you're feeling that immediate bond and connection isn't there, don't fret. I'm going to give you 5 tips on how you can work to secure that bond and connection with your newborn. Tip number 1, and that's get hands-on with the pregnancy. Now we have to remember that when baby is born, mum has already had 9 months to sort of nurture and grow the baby and get to know them as they're growing inside. But for us, we feel a little bit distant maybe. So get hands-on with the pregnancy. NCT classes, you could try hypnobirthing. You can also get involved with pregnancy appointments. You can get hands-on with buying clothes and items for the baby. Just do as much as you can to feel as invested as you can be in the pregnancy before your baby is born. Number 2, and that's carve out some alone time with baby. Now this can be really difficult with limited to no paternity leave. I know in the UK it's very limited, in many parts of the world it's non-existent, so it can be difficult to have those prolonged periods of alone time where we're just engaging with baby, thinking on our feet. Obviously, mum may be home with the baby for a prolonged maternity leave, maybe 6 months to a year to 18 months, or they may stay at home full time with the baby. So just push yourself, or if you're mum, encourage your partner to carve out some alone time with baby and just get hands-on. It will give you opportunities to engage with the baby, to think on your feet, and just to get to know them that little bit more. Number 3, and this is my favourite one, and that's baby wearing. So I think before we become parents, we assume that baby wearing is for when you're out and about, when you're trekking or walking around. But we were fortunate enough to get a carrier very early on, and I got comfortable. My wife was breastfeeding through the night. I got comfortable with baby wearing my little one around the house. And obviously, if you think about it, they're strapped to your chest. You can regulate their body temperature, they can hear your heartbeat, and they're just far more settled when they're close to you. Certainly in the first year of life, although, and beyond, they want to be as close as possible. So I would wake up early, certainly when we had our first, and it's a little bit different with our second because, at 6 a.m. we've got a 5-year-old running into the room. But when he was a baby, and my wife was breastfeeding through the night, I would wake up early with him. I would just strap him to my chest. You've got 2 hands free and you can just get things done around the house, or you can just keep them close. And as they get older, and it's safe to front face them, they can engage with the world and you can involve them in things you're doing. If you're making a drink, you can show them that you're making a drink. If you're walking around the garden or pottering around the house, you can just walk with them and they can engage, and they're just far more settled on your chest. So I would definitely get comfortable with baby wearing. Number 4, and that's reframing the seemingly mundane day-to-day tasks as opportunities to connect with your little one. So these seemingly mundane tasks will be very frequent. Nappy changes, plenty of nappy changes. Obviously your little one will be napping a lot, they'll be sleeping a lot, and they'll be waking through the night a lot. So all of these, although they can be frustrating at times, if we look to take a step back and reframe these and capture them as opportunities to connect with them, then we can enjoy them much more, and we can actually use them as opportunities to engage with our little ones. Number 5, and this is my favourite pastime, and that is singing to your baby. Now, just be silly and have some fun with it. Obviously, singing can soothe our baby, but there's lots and lots of benefits to actually singing to your baby. It helps with their cognitive development, their sensory development, their coordination, and also, of course, it soothes them so you can sing them to sleep. And it's a fantastic way for our little ones to explore new words as well. So have some fun with it. and try singing to your baby. So I hope these help. Definitely give these a go, and just remember that securing that bond and connection does take time. So don't force it, just take a step back, focus on showing up, carving out plenty of one-on-one alone time to engage and just be present with your baby. And over time, as their personality bursts out, you will start to secure that bond and connection with your baby.